Welcome to this All Elements Fitness Conditioned Movement 40-minute workout. As you listen to this introduction, start with breathing, deep breaths in through the nose. If you're unfamiliar with this workout, there's a tutorial video that takes you through all of the moves and the way that the structure of this workout works. But if you have the confidence and you want to just carry on, I'm going to guide you through everything on the job as we go. So if you're ready, let's get started and let's get back to the warm-up. Start to move the neck in any angle and direction your flexibility allows. We want to do this very gently, and we want to keep a visualization of the muscles, the bones, the tendons that we're activating in our mind as we move. We want to listen to the body, get some feedback, and maybe act upon the feedback that we get. Are there any pains, aches, any areas of tenderness that we want to spend a little extra time moving and articulating? The natural progression as we loosen the neck is to move down towards the shoulders, swinging, rotating, moving the arms in any way we feel. Notice how the position of your hands affects what happens at the shoulder joint, and we want to express every angle our shoulder joint is capable of moving. As we move, we're looking for opportunities to breathe that work with the movements of our body. An example of this is when the arms are raised or open. Usually the rib cage and the chest is open, so that's a good time to take an in-breath. At this moment, we're approaching things with delicacy and care. Nothing sharp or twisting. We don't want to pull or tear anything. Placing the hands high up on the torso, we're going to work on visualizing and articulating the top half of our spine. The spine is a series of muscles that can move like a snake. We want to do waves, bends, twists, and any movement that our spine is capable of. Move the hands down to the hips to help you focus on moving the spine from the waist up. I really want you to only use me as a template. There's no exact move that you have to follow. I want you to move intuitively and listen to your body more than you listen to me. Give the body a shake and loosen up before we move into the next exercise, which is a side stretch. With your feet shoulder width apart, I want you to reach over to the side. Then we're going to fold in front. Take the body all the way round and twist right to the back. We're going to come all the way back round and reverse the movement, and then we're going to repeat starting with the other side. Continue to breathe throughout the movement. We're looking for breathing that works in cooperation with the kind of movements that we're doing. From here, we're going to get back into some rotations with the feet apart, with the feet together, and then with the feet apart again. We're going to change the variation by changing the rotation so that it incorporates a front fold, and we rotate round to make a back bend and back into a front fold, and then you can rotate the other direction. Inhale on the back bend, exhale on the forward fold. With the feet still shoulder width apart, perform a squat. I want you to go down as comfortably as you can, as far as you can. Move and then do it 2 or 3 more times. On the next squat you perform, pause when you're down. Then reach up to the sky with one arm. Move again and perform the same stretch with the other arm. You can twist a hand while it's up. This affects the shoulder joint. Next, we're going to transition to side switches. Before we sit down, I want you to see if you can place the knees alternately on the ground. Use your hands for support if needed. With both legs bent, we're going to sit down in this 90-90 position. And then we rotate from one side to the other, leaving the feet planted. If you're able to, remove the stability of the hands so it works more on the core. After a few rotations, we want to go into back rolls to forward stretch. These are exercises we're going to be performing in the workout itself, so we're just preparing ourselves for the activity we're about to do. Next, we're going to spend a bit of time opening up our hips. If you imagine that 1 o'clock is directly in front of you and 6 o'clock is directly behind you, you want to kick the leg out at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, etc. all the way around to 6. For the next couple of seconds, then take the leg and move in a freestyle manner with a focus on opening up the hips. And of course, we want to balance things out and repeat the entire process for the other side. Next, we're going to transition into some dynamic hamstring stretches. Take a wide stance, put all your weight on your right leg, allowing your left leg to straighten out. You want to work on transitioning in and out of this position on both sides. It's important to remember to work within the boundaries of your flexibility and strength to avoid injury. Next, you want to transition down to the ground, where we're going to perform 1 or 2 scorpion rolls before we're back up onto our feet. Keeping yourself light on your toes, move around, then every so often fold forward, reaching for the ground with an emphasis on stretching a hamstring. And to finish off this hamstring sequence, simply stop, fold over, reach for the toes, trying to keep those legs straight. Next, we're going to take a little time to prepare the wrists, because we're going to be doing a lot of groundwork in this workout. Drop down to your knees, placing the palms down with your fingers pointing away from you. Don't allow the palms to raise off the ground as you move forward and backwards. After a couple of movements, change the positions of the hands so that the fingers point sideways. After another few movements, we're going to change the positions of the hand one more time so that the fingers point backwards. This time the stretch should come more on the backwards motion. While we're down here and we're focusing on our wrists, we can simultaneously work on other areas like our back, our shoulders, our spine. In a free moving manner, start to articulate any movements that come naturally to you from this position. Try working one side at a time by keeping one hand grounded and letting the body move around that arm. Next, I want you to come upright onto the knees, keeping the core tight and leaning back. We can lean back to the right, to the left, or directly straight back. Notice how my toes are pointing along the ground. After a few movements, stand up, readjust, go back down, and this time, instead of the feet pointing along the ground, we're going to change it so they're pointing into the ground, downwards. We've got about 20 seconds left of the warm-up before we start the main exercise. So I'm going to leave it to you to freestyle, move, roll, rotate, stretch, any way you see fit. As we count down the last few seconds of the warm-up, it's time to transition into our first exercise of the first round, which is side crawls. So we're looking for opportunities to breathe. We're regulating our intensity with the speed that we're moving and the way that we move. We're just pacing ourselves, making sure that we can last the full minute. We're at the halfway point for this exercise. Continue to breathe, regulate intensity as we work our way through to the full minute of exercise. As we head into the last 10 seconds for this exercise, we're preparing to transition into back roll to forward stretch. Try and find a smooth transition and don't overdo the stretch. We're just feeling out our flexibility, feeling out our range, and feeling out the kind of intensity we need to stay at to make it through the whole round. There's 30 seconds left of this exercise. Remember to experiment with angles, feet placement, hand placement, just exploring your range and managing your intensity as we head through to the end of this exercise. It's the last 10 seconds of this exercise. We're going to be looking to transition into crab turnover to full extension. Find your transition, explore your range of movement and flexibility, and get into the flow of the move. There's 30 seconds left of the entire round. Keep managing your intensity, breathing, and working to stay in flow. "10 seconds until your rest period comes up. Make the last few movements count. And rest. Great opportunity for you to grab a drink, breathe, stretch, and do whatever you want to do to prepare yourself for the next round that's coming in a minute's time. As the rest period comes to an end, we're going to do the same round again, starting with side crawls. This time we have the experience of the first round and we're able to push things a little bit further, know our intensity boundary, and go for a more intense workout. "30 seconds into this exercise, remember you're just using my movements as a guideline. I've added a turn just to add a little bit more intensity as we head towards the end of the round. 10 seconds left of this exercise. We're going to head back into transitioning to roll back to forward stretch. Put a little more intention into your stretch. I like to aim for a spot just beyond my reach to make sure I get my full range. Halfway through this exercise, keep the intensity going. You know if you're pushing yourself, work towards your fitness. Prepare yourself for the next transition, crab turnover to extension. Let's make the most out of this stretch. Crab turnover to the extension. Let's make the extension part really count. That's what's going to help the intensity for this round. As we hit the last 30 seconds of this round, remember you can experiment with different variations of this move. Last 10 seconds of the round, very well done. Just push through the final seconds before you head into the rest. Again, time to reflect, recover, breathe, stretch, relax, and take in the moment. Very well done getting through those 2 rounds. Let's keep a high quality mentality through the rest of the workout. You may find yourself tempted to reach for your phone or be distracted by something else in this rest period. And I encourage you to just be with yourself, be with your thoughts, relax, and consider the rest as an important part of the entire workout. The last 10 seconds of the rest period is coming to an end. We're going to get into the next round, and the first exercise is crab to L-sit. Inhale on the crab, exhale on the sit. Halfway through this exercise, keep the quality going. If you want to take some steps in between each movement, go ahead in the crab position and think about the detail, making sure you're finishing the form. As our time for this exercise comes to an end, we're going to transition into side switch to leg extension. Take your time and pace yourself. You've still got another round where you can push yourself a bit further, but gauge how you feel and what you want to get out of this workout in this exercise. We're at the midway point for this exercise in this round. If you haven't had a go at removing your hands for support, give it a try and see how you perform.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116
as this exercise winds down, we're going to transition into plank walkout to back row. This is quite a complicated movement, so take your time with it, ease into it, and make it harder as you get more confident. We're at the midway point for this exercise, and I want a quality last 20 seconds or so before we get into our rest period, so keep it moving. Last 10 seconds, keep an eye on the clock and keep moving right through till the end. You've got a rest coming up, giving you all the time you need to recover. So as the rest period winds down, take your last few deep breaths as we prepare to get into the first exercise of round 4. Crab to L-sit. You've already had one round of this. Time for you to improve and build upon the round you've already made. Let's go. So you're 30 seconds in, you've got 30 seconds left of this exercise. Keep working with quality. As we count down to the end of this exercise, we're going to transition into side switch to leg extensions. You've done this before. Time to get a little bit more emphasis on extending the legs and removing the hands if you're capable, so you can get the best out of this workout. Just hit the midway point for this exercise. Keep on pushing, making sure you're still looking for opportunities to breathe that work with the movements that you're performing. As this exercise winds down, we're going to transition into plank walkouts to back roll. Again, the aim of the game is to build upon the last round, build upon the exercise that you've already got used to. Pace yourself, get through the full minute without a break. Go for it. "30 seconds left until you get a chance to rest, so make it count and work all the way through to the end of the clock." So the rest period is about to start. Get the last few moves in, perform them with quality before you get a chance to really recover. Well done for making it this far. We're 2/3 of the way through the whole workout. Make sure you grab a drink, recover, do any stretches you feel are necessary, and prepare ourselves for the final 2 rounds that we're going to do in a moment. Scorpion rolls are going to be the first exercise of round 5, so get ready to transition and begin. If you can keep yourself mindful, focusing on the movements, you can really lose yourself in the movement, and that's where I want you to get to. A flow state, a meditative state, a mindful state as you roll. The first 30 seconds of this round is out of the way. Remember, you can add a push-up in the middle of your scorpion rolls to increase intensity. Seconds left. We're going to transition into core twisters. Make sure you finish the round with the timer and begin on 0. Take your time with this. Find the movement that works best for you. Some people find it a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit awkward, so just experiment with the angles that you can twist until you find that movement that really works the core and helps transitioning from one move to another. We've just hit the midway point for this exercise. Keep the quality going, keep pushing, we're almost there. Back rolls and forward rolls are the next exercise that's going to finish off the round, so prepare and transition into that now. Particularly if the ground is quite hard, I keep the mindset that I'm going to move softly, and this helps me with my rolls, getting in and out of transition and making sure I don't injure myself. Things going as we enter the last 30 seconds of this exercise before our rest period. Ten seconds left before we have our rest and recovery period. Keep things moving right through to the end of the clock. Time to get into position to perform the first exercise of the last round, scorpion rolls. This should be your most calm and meditative round. It's as intense as you want it to be. If you want to add the press up, it gets a little harder, but if you just want to concentrate on mindfulness, maybe you just stick to the rolls. Well done for pushing through this far. You've got about 30 seconds left of this exercise. Keep the quality moving, stay mindful, keep breathing. Last few seconds of this round, get ready to transition into core twisters. You can raise the intensity by slowing down the movement so that your core is engaged for longer. Remember, this is a movement-focused workout, so you may want to experiment by modifying some of the moves slightly as you see me doing here. It's totally up to you, it's your time to get what you need from the workout. As we head into the last exercise for the whole workout, it's time to transition into forward and backward rolls. Let's go. "30 seconds left. You've come this far. Very well done. Keep maintaining your movement, keep maintaining your form and your focus." As we head into the last few seconds of the round, make sure you finish with quality as we get into the warm down, cool down, starting now. Take a seat and use deep breathing to start to recover your breath. And at the same time, we can manipulate and articulate our wrists, hands, and fingers. Now transition onto the hands and knees, opening out the legs to feel a stretch on the hips. Keep the stretch going, but add in reaches, switching arms alternately. Walk the arms forward, close the legs, take a look upwards and over each shoulder to stretch out the back. Transition to a front sit where we're going to take 3 or 4 deep breaths and then we're going to reach for the toes. we're going to keep this breathing and stretching pattern, except we're going to fold one leg and keep one leg outstretched, and then we're going to alternate legs. Even though we're in the cool down, you can still try and maintain smooth transitions between positions. Time to focus in on the shoulder, reaching across the front of our chest and pulling in with the other arm. After a few seconds, we're going to rotate the shoulder by leaning back and swinging the arm around. Then it's time to place the same arm between the shoulder blades and use the other arm to pull down to create a deeper stretch. Let's repeat on the other side. From the seated position, we're going to cross the legs. Try and place your foot higher than the position of your knee that's on the ground. And then we're just going to hug the leg. After a second or two, try and get your elbow over your knee and look behind you, creating a twist in the spine and a stretch down the outside of your legs and into your glutes. Time to transition and do the same on the other side. Time to focus on stretching the quads. Everyone's flexibility is different, so the position you may find yourself may not be in the exact same position as me, but the aim of the game is to find a stretch on your quads by stretching one leg and folding the other one back as you lay on the ground. I'm resting on my elbow for extra support and also twisting to find a little bit more of a stretch. You want to repeat this on both sides. We're coming to the end of our 5-minute cool down, and after you complete this second side of this stretch, it's up to you to analyze your body. Maybe you want to end things there, or maybe you want to take things further. You have somewhere in your body that's feeling pain or discomfort or tightness. It's for you to work out any kinks or stretches you want to do yourself. I really hope you've enjoyed this workout. I hope you'll join us for more. But for now, thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.